Welcome to the Throwdown. We are a podcast celebrating the art and sport of professional wrestling. We feature live stream chats with wrestlers, promoters, and others involved in the industry. I'm your host Matt, and tonight is episode 210, and our guest is Baltimore, Maryland-based wrestler, the man to see, AJB. AJ has been wrestling for around a year and currently trains at Catchpoint, Baltimore under Drew Gulak, among others. So, without further delay, let's throw down.
Are you ready?
Throwdown Nation, what is going on? We are live. It is a Friday. We are rolling on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter/X, Facebook, and Twitch. It is episode 210 of The Throwdown, where we celebrate the art and sport of professional wrestling with a strong focus on the indies. I'm your host, Matt, and today we are throwing down with a wrestler based in Baltimore, Maryland, who is making a big splash on the scene. My friends, welcome with me, the man to see, AJ Brown. And it looks like we can't see the man to see. Something happened with your camera?
Yeah, I don't know what happened. It said the virtual background shut down. I don't know. I'm trying to fix it, but I don't know.
Okay. Well, for those of you watching live, let me direct your attention to the ticker that's running on the bottom of the screen. That contains all or at least most of AJ's social media accounts along with mine. So do us a favor, if you aren't following or subscribed, please take the time and go to each of our platforms and do so. It definitely helps both of us. And any questions or comments that you have, just throw them in the chat and we'll either handle them as we go or do a little Q&A at the end. So we'll go ahead and get started with the first and the most obvious question, and that is, how long have you been wrestling?
I've been wrestling for about a year, almost a year and a half now. So I started training in 2022. I debuted in ring in January of last year. So
Got you. So who actually trained you, or is training you? Because training is a never-ending type of thing.
yeah, it never stopped. Initially, who trained me is Eel O'Neill. He's definitely a staple here in Maryland. You know, because he does Flying V. He does fight. He's done Enjoy Beyond a couple times. He's wrestled down in Ohio for oldie wrestling, I believe. Yeah, he's been just up and down. He trained me. Common MK. He's another Maryland-based wrestler that has been around for a while. And then Old Man Young Boy. He's another one. He's one that in our home promotion, he's a mainstay there in EWA. But more recently, Drew Gulak, because he partnered with our promotion. So we're now known as, our training school is now known as Catchpoint Baltimore now. So along with Catchpoint Philadelphia.
Oh, very cool.
Baltimore. So Drew Gulak, Tracy Williams, he doesn't come down to our school that often, but he is a resource that we can use. Tracy Hot Sauce Williams, him.
Yep.
And there's two others. I can't remember their names right now. One's Travis. I know what's his name. Travis something. I can't remember his name, but I mean, he's a mainstay too. Him, and there's a female trainer. I can't remember her name either. I'm sorry. I think her name was Brittany Blake or something like that. I think. Don't quote me on that though. That's all collectively. That's all of them. Beginning was Eel and Old Man and Common, and then more recently is Drew, Travis Huckabee. That's his name. Travis Huckabee and Brittany Blake. So those are the newer ones, and then the original ones that I previously mentioned. So yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah, I know over at the Catchpoint in Philadelphia, I know Wheeler Yuta's involved over there. Is he having any involvement with the Baltimore school?
With us, not as of yet. I mean, because he's making the rounds on AEW and Ring of Honor right now, right. So I'm not sure how much time he has. But he has. I mean, we're welcome to come up to Catchpoint Philadelphia for him, just to train with him. But he hasn't come down to our school.
Gotcha. So in the early stages of your training, What was the most challenging aspect of professional wrestling for you to kind of wrap your mind and body around?
Um, Most challenging. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say most challenging, but more something that I had to get used to was like the flat back bumps because you don't really learn how to fall correctly. So having to learn how to fall was jarring at first because it's like I've never had to like throw myself at the ground in a certain way where I don't get hurt. So I would say bumping like that was like one of the more tougher things. I mean, I got it now, but in the beginning, it was like one of the more tougher things
Right.
to do.
Right. So, did you come into wrestling with a previous athletic or martial arts type of background? Had you played other sports or trained in any other type of martial art or combat sport prior to professional wrestling?
Um, no. So I did play sports in high school. I played soccer all 4 years. But I didn't start. I didn't do jiu-jitsu. I trained jujitsu and I had to take a break from it. But like in that break, I trained jujitsu. So initially coming into training, I didn't have that background. But after coming back from that break, I had a more legitimate background in jujitsu, which I still practice off and on now. I haven't really had a chance to get fully back into it, but I mean, I want to. But yeah, so initially no, but now I do have that background, and that's also tied into the moves that I do in presentation. So
Gotcha. So, I'm presuming simply because has generally been the answer for the majority of people that have been on the show, but I'm presuming you have been at least a fan of professional wrestling the majority of your life. Is that pretty accurate?
yeah, since I was about 7, so
Gotcha. So, what would you say is your earliest wrestling related memory?
earliest wrestling related memory,
Yeah.
I would say watching the Colognes, Carlito and Primo, win the undisputed tag team title. I forget who they faced, but no, it was Miz and Morrison. So it was watching that match. That was like the earliest one I can remember. And Carlito is like my favorite wrestler because of it. So
Gotcha. What was the first live show that you attended as a fan?
as a fan, so this is kind of
Yeah.
recent, but as a fan, the first live show I attended was actually an AEW Dynamite back in May, like 2022. So it's coming up in like 4 years since I've been there, but that was the first one I attended as a fan. I have all the videos still, so I watch them every now and then. But that's the first one I attended as a fan. The one thing that I did not realize prior to going to an actual live show, because you see the pyro and everything, no, that stuff's hot.
Mm-hmm.
So like
Yes.
Chris Jericho came out, and we're all the way up, not super far away, but we're up like at least high enough where you don't feel like you don't think you can feel it. No, the flames came up, and I felt the heat all the way from where I was sitting. I was like, oh,
Oh yeah. I remember going to a show many years ago, and the pyro hit, and you feel that heat, and if you're feeling it that far away when the wrestler is standing there with no shirt on, and then
yeah,
that thing pops right behind him, what is he feeling?
yeah. No wonder they be in the ring sweating up a storm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the one thing I did not realize initially before I went to a live show. Because I would see it on TV, but like you never think, oh, they can actually feel that. No, you can actually feel it, even as high up as you can possibly be. You can probably still feel that heat of how big the pyro is.
Oh, for sure, for sure. So, obviously the physical side of this is all extremely important. So
Yeah.
tell us a bit about your gym routine, and in your mind, what are the most crucial exercise or group of exercises for you to keep in ring shape?
So a little bit of a fun fact. Before I started wrestling, or before I actually like got in the ring to wrestle or whatever, the moment I decided to actually like start wrestling, I was like, okay, I can
Mm-hmm.
go. Before I even called a promoter or anything like that, I was like, okay, I need to put size on. I need to start working out and everything. Because before this, I worked out like infrequently, but it was like whenever I kind of wanted to. But when this like switch kind of happened for me, I was like, okay, I need to start training. So to prepare for that, I gotta go to the gym, eat protein powder and all that stuff. So I kind of started my like gym journey like 6 months before I actually started that before I actually like started training. So the biggest things that I like work on, I work on like upper body and lower body because you gotta have a strong base because you're basing a lot depending on if you're working face or heel, and depending if you're big or small, like tall or like short or whatever. Um, and also when you're in ring style, depending on what kind of moves you do. So for me, since I'm like a mat based kind of wrestler, I'm always like, or more often than not, like basing and stuff. So I try to train my legs. So I do leg presses, calf stretches, and or calf presses, I should say. I do those. For upper body, I do like chest presses, shoulder presses. I deadlift every blue moon because it's like that kind of I gotta get a weight belt because that hurts my back a little bit. But like also, I just kind of do it just to see where I'm at when it comes to what my deadlift is. Um, and now I'm incorporating bench more. So I think the most crucial ones I feel like are the upper body and like the chest presses, shoulder presses, and benches, and then like on the lower end, the crucial ones down there are making sure your calves are strong, making sure your thighs are toned up enough. Because not only is it for like for the mechanics to make sure you're not like hurting anybody, but also it's like for aesthetics too. Because as much as the aesthetics don't matter as much now as they did before, it still matters to an extent. So you at least want to like look like this is what you do for a living, not like someone just pulls you off the street and say, "Hey, just get in the ring. I'll pay you like $20." But yeah. So those are the most important ones for me. Like calf raises, leg press on the lower body, and the upper body is shoulder presses, chest presses, bench. So
Gotcha. So, away from wrestling, what are some of your other hobbies and interests? What do you like to do with your spare time?
yeah, spare time. So I'm a dad. A lot of people don't know that because of how I look. I mean, you can't see me right now. Like I look on the younger side. I'm only 26, but outside of wrestling, usually I just spend time with my daughter. I have play video games, and then also I paint too. So I have like a lot of canvases up around my house. I just paint. I haven't painted too much recently, but that's one thing I do on the side. Not as like not mine for monetary gain or anything like that. I just like as a hobby, and then also like graphic design. So a lot of the gear that you would see if you, I mean, I know you probably looked at my profile and everything, but a lot of the gear that you see, all the stuff that I've worn, that's all my design. I only need somebody to make it. Everything, all the designs and everything, that's all stuff that I've.
Nice, nice. So, how old is your daughter?
She is 2.5 now. She turns 3 literally next month.
Nice, nice. Let me tell you, the time flies. I
Oh
mean,
yeah, I know. I remember when she was a baby to
yeah,
now. It's like it's been a lot. And I also think she kind of catching the wrestling bug too because she was trying to wrestle one of her dolls the other day. Here we go.
nice, nice. So, we're mostly a wrestling related show, but we do dabble a little bit into pop culture, and I'm always looking for recommendations. So, by any chance, are you watching or listening to anything cool right now?
Right now,
Yeah.
oh geez, me and my girlfriend we watch a lot of 90 Day Fiance, so that's something that I'm definitely watching a lot of. I would recommend 90 Day Fiance. There's spinoffs, but I would say watch the 90 Day Fiance before 90 days. Watch 90 Day Fiance the other way, and then watch 90 Day Fiance just the regular one. They're on HBO Max, I believe. So yeah, if you have HBO Max already, I would definitely like watch those. Those are pretty entertaining. Uh, Listening to, so I listen to a lot of podcasts, but I watch, or not watch, I listen to a lot of, even though you said something like pop culture, I was listening to a lot of like Chris Van Vliet. So
Oh, yeah.
if you're not already listening to that, I feel like you are, but like if you're not already, I would recommend that too. What else? What podcast? I'm listening to the other. Give me one second. I'm looking at my phone because like it's right there, so I'm just gonna tip my tongue. But podcasts. I was definitely listening to uh Bruisers. It's like a small like podcast, but it's featuring a lot of local people because I know there's a couple people like Lee Moriarty's been on there. This is wrestler. He actually trains at Catchpoint Philadelphia. And I think you should have him on your show. Is Julesy? just type in Julesy and you'll on Instagram and he'll pop up. He has like a blonde afro, all that stuff. So he should definitely be in your show too. Oh yeah, and then another podcast that I watch a lot or that I listen to a lot is Crashing Out with Philip DeFranco, and Alex Perlman. That's definitely one I listen to. So it keeps me updated on current events.
Nice.
Also like funny and informative. So
nice. So what is your favorite thing about Baltimore?
my favorite thing about Baltimore,
Yeah.
probably the food, because I mean, recently, like me and my girlfriend been going out, different places. Definitely the food, because I went to Rice Street Tavern for Valentine's Day, and that was pretty good because I got scallops and like grits, even though the grits kind of taste like more like rice than grits, like more like a risotto type vibe going on there. That, but the dish overall was good. That's a restaurant I probably recommend. Nola's is pretty good too. Both of those are like downtown. But my favorite part about Baltimore is definitely the food. Just being a foodie.
Gotcha. So, they say that the best wrestling personas are usually pretty much yourself turned up to 1,000.
Yeah.
So, kind of tell us about in-ring AJ Brown and kind of compare and contrast him with everyday you.
Okay, so ring name. I don't think I told you this, but ring name is AJB, which is just my initials, like my first name and then the last initial of my last name. The first initial of my last name. Sorry. So it's AJB. That's me in the ring, and then outside the ring, just AJ.
Okay.
The difference between the two, I feel like I'm more relaxed outside of the ring. Outside of the ring, I'm more relaxed. I'm usually like listening to music, painting, or whatever. In the ring, though, I would say I'm like a calculated, methodical type thing going on. Like similar, because I've been compared to him a lot recently. Even though I'm only been wrestling. I get compared to Kyle O'Reilly a lot. So that kind of vibe. Just imagine that just with me. So definitely cold, calculated, limb target. I target limbs all the time. So leg, arm, whatever. I try to incorporate a lot of my jiu-jitsu background into that. So that's me in the ring. Outside the ring, like I'm just very mellow, cool. I definitely like to have fun with when it comes to like going to concerts and stuff. I haven't gone to many concerts recently, but I'm always down for a little ride along. I'm down for concert, a nice outing. I'm always down for a nice little outing. I'm trying to get out the house a little. And then but on top of that, I'm also like a homebody a lot, but I'm trying to get out of that. I'm a wine connoisseur. I love wine. Red wine,
Nice.
sweet wines. I'm not a huge fan of the drier ones. Those ones are okay, but I mean they're not my favorite. Liquor wise, Jameson is pretty good. My girlfriend got me into drinking Douce, so Douce is pretty nice. And then Martell's good too. So I mean, a lot of this stuff I'm low key kind of like shouting her out, low key, but because she's been putting me into a lot of stuff. But yeah, my favorite alcohol to drink probably is wine, though. So
Gotcha.
I don't think I have a favorite brand, but I just think wine in general is where I'm with my sweet spot.
Gotcha. Well, being compared to Kyle O'Reilly is pretty high praise. That guy is amazing in the ring.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like people that I've like wrestled in real life and the people that I've met while through wrestling and stuff, they gave me that comparison, and I was like surprised, considering that Kyle O'Reilly is like my favorite wrestler ever. He's like literally like the reason why I wanted to like wrestle in the first place. Because I was watching NXT, I was watching Undisputed Era, and I was like, Kyle O'Reilly.
Oh yeah,
I fuck with that guy a lot. So it's like you said, it's a high praise, and it's very like all inspiring for me. I'm like, I'm only been wrestling for like a year and a half, and I'm already getting that comparison. I'm like, that's pretty cool.
Absolutely, and those are some big shoes to live up to as well.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's a dream match of mine too. So I know he's 30, about in his 30s now, but it's like if I can get that match, whether it be now, whether it be a little later on, I would definitely go for it. I would definitely be all over that.
Gotcha.
Battle of the Anthem.
Oh yeah. So tell us about your very first match. What was it like? How did it go? What were your thoughts about it? Tell us about the first one.
Okay, so the first match I had was a tag match. It was a tag team match, and it was at our wrestling school because we were doing a little like show or whatever, like a small little show. But
Right.
it was a tag match. It was me and this guy named Eddie Blas. He's a wrestler that wrestles around, my area, and then it was me and him. We were a tag, and then the Purple Parrot and Chaz Monroe, which are both people that I do also think should be on your show. But I will shoot them your stuff after this probably. But
Please do.
um, but Colin Sheen, the Purple Parrot, and Chaz Monroe were our opponents. I ain't gonna lie, I was nervous because one is like my first match ever. I've never had prior to this. I've only had no one's seen those. It was a little nervous because I'm like, oh, this is actually like for real now. Like, I mean, it's not like I'm just thinking about it. Oh, it's actually about to happen. That along with like just excited because I was like, oh, okay, this is I finally get to actually do something I've been talking about for the longest time. So did it. The match went off pretty good. Went off without a hitch pretty much for the most part. I felt good. No one got hurt. Everybody was like already looking at how good I was, and they were like, okay, cool, we can work with this. But honestly, initial thoughts and or should not initial thoughts, but thoughts overall about the match. It was just like I was excited. I was nervous. I did some good stuff in there. They helped me out a lot, and it just kind of set the tone for what my career has been so far. So just impressing a lot of people and just getting a lot of high praise, which I again never really expected. But when you just good at something, it kind of just it shows, I should say.
Gotcha. So we've heard about the first one. Now, if you can narrow it down, tell us about your favorite match that you've been a part of so far.
So far,
Yeah.
um, ooh, I like talking about this match. So it was for a taping. It was for a taping for my school or my promotion. Um, I it sucks. I don't have the whole match. I only got 10 minutes of it, the first 2 minutes. But it was me and it was Dave Moses, who was one half of the state champs with Sal Mastretta. So they're pretty good. And they should also be on your show. But I'm like mentioning a lot of people. But anyway, that match was pretty. I really liked that match because our chemistry was a lot better than I thought it was. Because
Mm-hmm.
we're going over the match, and he's like, "We're going to do this, we're going to do that, we do this, boom, boom, whatever." Okay, cool. I'm thinking, okay, this is going to be a match. Hopefully I do good. Hopefully I like it. We're doing everything. We're going at it. Boom. The moment in the match for me that I think is my favorite part of the match though is he gives me a German suplex. I go right over, boom. I'm not hurt or anything, but like I roll right up to my feet. So they say, "Oh, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't just rise back after you get a big move like that." But I'm like, the momentum kind of took me. But so he gives me the suplex. I go right up on my feet, right into what the finishing move was, which is the what's it called? Discus lariat. There you go. Discus lariat right into the boom. 1, 2, 3. Match is over. I lose. He win. But I think after the match, I was raving so much. I was like, bruh, that was good. Like, because I had an ankle lock spot. I suplexed him, so we were like battling like who can get one on each other first. I got him. He
Right.
got or not who can get one to the first. I'm sorry. It was the little guy proving that he can hang with the big boys. So that's what it was. But that spot goes down without a hitch. I think the only thing that got messed up was the international spot. I kind of missed the what's it called, the leapfrog. Other than that, the whole match was good. He told me after the match, he was like, "I've been in there with some people, and you can tell if someone's good or not." He's like, "You are good." He's like, "Your pacing." He said, "For how far you are right now, your pacing's pretty good. Uh, uh, your ring awareness is good." It's like he's like, "It looks like you know what you're doing in there." I'm like, thanks, I appreciate that. And that's the first, and that was actually the first time that someone actually told me that. Cause like I said, I had practice matches before that and all that. Didn't get that much high praise. Not that it was matches were bad or anything like that, but it was just like to that extent, I was happy about it. Cause I was like, oh, okay, he's not somebody that I've been training with. He's someone that just worked with me for this one show, and then boom, he's already saying that. So I was like, I'm doing something right.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So, I'm presuming you've had the opportunity to do a little bit of both. But do you have a preference between working heel or babyface, or is it really just whatever the situation calls for?
Um, Initially, it's been whatever the situation calls for. But I do enjoy working heel more than face because I believe my personality lends more to it. Because it's not like I'm a bad person or like a shitty person or whatever. No, it's just
Right.
a lot of my mannerisms outside the ring often lead that way, often lean that way, I should say. Um, and then I've always been good at like talking. I mean, I haven't really been able to do a lot of promos recently, but I've always been good at talking. I've always been good at just being at like conniving, like heel kind of characters. I like being heel a lot more than face. I mean, because I feel like with face, there's only so much you can do until that heel turn happens. But I feel like with being heel, it's a lot more. There's a lot of fun you can have with.
Got you. Got you. So, you've also been doing this long enough that I'm sure you've picked up a few of these. So what is your biggest wrestling related pet peeve?
Biggest wrestling related pet peeve. I think every wrestler says this. Wrestlers that stink. Like,
Yeah.
um, so I've had the luxury of not being in the ring with too many people that stink. But when I am, it's just like, bruh, you. I'm not saying you gotta full on like scrub down, but like at least you could have done. I know because sometimes they be on short notice, but at least you could have done is like put something. I don't want to smell like what you smell like after this match because I know I gotta go home, take a shower, but which I'm gonna do anyway. But I don't want it to be for that reason. So
Right. Right.
that's one of my biggest pet peeves. Wrestlers that stink. Wrestlers. Another one is wrestlers when it comes to gear. When the gear looks cheap and looks like you just threw it together really quick. I personally hate that because it's not gonna happen to me, but for the person that's wrestling in that gear, it makes you look like you didn't really care. So
Right.
because my whole thought process when I started like making my own gear. I mean, I don't make my own gear, but designing my own gear and getting it made and everything is I wanted to actually look like a wrestler. I actually wanted to look like I actually cared about what I was doing. So when I see people, and if your character like if your persona is someone who is supposed to be wearing street clothes, and that's different. But if you want to be a textbook professional wrestler, you can't just be walking out with like a t-shirt, jeans, ripped up, whatever. You can't do that. So the biggest one is hygiene. The second one is presentation. I hate shitty looking gear. I hate it. So I try not to have it.
Got,
So
gotcha. And it's funny. You had mentioned that you've got some experience training jujitsu. I actually trained BJJ myself for several years, a few years back, and there was always that one guy in the dojo that wouldn't wash his gi, and
oh yeah.
and I'm completely with you. You don't want to grapple with the stink. I
No, you
mean,
don't want to grapple with the stink, and you don't want to deal with that. So it's like, and that's
yeah.
the main thing. Just wash your gear, wash your gear.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, if you could only be one, would you rather be great in the ring or great on the mic?
Um, that's a tough one. I don't want to
Yeah,
be.
yeah, it's funny. I have asked this question in every one of these, and it's been almost a 50-50 split, and everybody has their own reasons for answering one or the other. I just find this question fascinating.
Um, honestly, I would actually just want to be good in ring rather than good on the mic because I feel like being good in ring can help. I feel like it can help you with your mic skills because you can get better with being on the mic. The same way you can get better with being in the ring, but like getting good in the ring takes more time. Mic skills, at least to me, takes more time because you got to actually be in the ring and training and all that. So you got to actually put a lot of effort into that. Mic
Gotcha.
skills, you can just talk, and if it sounds good, it sounds good. If it doesn't, you can work on it. I don't know. This is personally for me. I just like watching good wrestling because the promos to me are cool, but I just like watching good.
Gotcha. So, you haven't been doing this for that long, so you may not have really run into any of these type of situations, but I'll ask anyway. Have you had any unusual or funny encounters with a fan?
So you're right. I haven't really ran into this issue. At least not yet, because in wrestling, I feel like it's coming. It hasn't happened yet, but I feel like it's coming.
Yeah,
But
gotcha.
especially with the more I travel, because I'm gonna be in PA a few times next month, but it hasn't happened yet. I feel like it's gonna happen not soon, but I feel like it's gonna happen at some point. But it hasn't really happened yet, so I really can't say anything about weird fan interaction.
Gotcha.
At least not right now.
Gotcha. Well, uh, like you said, give it some more time, and you'll probably have some stories.
Yeah,
So,
probably. Now I didn't have this. Now I will say this: I didn't have a weird fan interaction, but I did have a weird like match situation because I think
okay.
like last year, I think I was an appetizer for my home promotion EWA, and funny enough, we ain't have no refs, so we improvised on the fly, and we just said, "Hey, whoever wins this match has to ref the whole show." It's a 6-man tag too, so which team wins has to ref. Well, it doesn't have to ref the whole show. Whichever team loses has to ref the whole. So, and it wasn't like we had time to think about that. It's like we got out there, and introductions happened, all that stuff. Ring the bell, boom. We're like, oh, there's no ref. So what are we gonna do? So we had to come up with that on the fly. The team that I was on, we won, so I didn't have to ref the show.
Gotcha. Nice. So, do you have an all-time favorite match as a fan? A match that just really is near and dear to your heart, and you just kind of find yourself circling back to it. Do you have such a match?
My all-time favorite match. Funny enough, this doesn't feature Kyle O'Reilly, but my all-time favorite match though is probably from the Cruiserweight Classic. I'll say Kyle. Cedric Alexander and Kota Ibushi. I watched that match. I think I watched that match like a good like once, twice a month, like whether it be clips or the whole match itself. I kind of like I just always circle back to that one. And I draw a lot of inspiration from Cedric Alexander. But as a fan, yeah, that's like my favorite match all time.
Gotcha, gotcha. So, kind of piggybacking onto that question, do you have an all-time favorite promo as a fan?
Promo. Oh, this is funny. This is fun. Uh, like I said before, I like to talk, so promos are like my thing. One of my favorite things to watch when it comes to just learning. But Enzo Amore, when he had that whole segment with every cruiserweight on 205 Live, I thought that was funny. I was like, he had not only did he have something for every single member of the 205 Live roster at the time, but all of them were like funny. It's not one that was like it was like why'd you say that? It was like all of them were funny, and that's my favorite one. And to piggyback off that, I never would have thought one of the people that he insulted in that segment would become my coach later on. Didn't think that at all.
Yeah, ultimately, when it comes down to it, professional wrestling is a small world. I mean,
I learned that very fast.
I mean, there's like they talk about 3 degrees of separation, and it's really true, because you'll know somebody who knows that guy, or
Yeah,
So yeah, it's wild. It is truly wild.
very.
So you mentioned Kyle O'Reilly obviously as being a dream opponent, but are there any others? Who else would you love to have the opportunity to share a ring with?
So Kyle O'Reilly's one. TJP is another one. Because funny enough, actually, I have the picture too. So I met him at the airport when I was working at, and I was like, oh, because he was like there. And I was like, and I turned, because I didn't realize he was there at first, but I turned my head up and I was like, look, I looked at who it was, and I was like, oh, I know who that is. And it was in the middle of a rush. I stopped what I was doing. I was like, I gotta take a picture. I took a picture, and that's when I was like 19. That's another one. And then I know he's not as active as much anymore. I mean, probably due to past relationships with TNA, other promotions. Low key.
Oh yeah,
He is a dream opponent that I have too. And I remember I told one of my training partners that I wanted to have a match with him. He was like, "Are you crazy?" And I'm like, "No. I mean, if the match is there, I'll take it." I mean, they say he hit hard. I've seen how hard he hits. He's not somebody else clean. I'm not gonna say I don't think he's gonna knock me out. I don't want him to, but if I had the opportunity to wrestle him in a match, I would. That's my third.
gotcha.
Kyle O'Reilly, TJP, and Loki.
Gotcha. Somebody else I was just thinking about that based on what I know about you and your ring style and everything, somebody else I think you could have a really good match with. And he's somebody else that's not particularly active at this point, but Amazing Red.
Oh, that's that. I see. I appreciate that because that's cool. Because he runs House of Glory, so yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be mad at that either. So if the opportunity arose, I definitely would. I would take that too.
absolutely. So as you wrestle and you're working various people, you obviously you find certain people that you have just amazing in-ring chemistry with, and when you're working that person, magic is going to happen, and it's going to be a banger.
Yeah.
Do you have such a person thus far? Somebody that if you're working them, it's going to be just amazing. Do you have such a person?
Like I previously said before, David Moses. I've only wrestled him one time, but that's all it took for me to know that yeah, if we mix it up again, it's we gonna tear the house down. So he's one. No, beyond him, no, I don't think anybody else right now. Cause I haven't really worked too many people yet, but I feel like
Right.
as it goes on, yeah, I'll find that. But for him, but so far right now, he's the one that I'll probably say, if we mix it up again, oh yeah, for sure, that would be a good one for sure.
Absolutely. So, what is your favorite move? What is something you just really enjoy doing? And on the flip side of that, is there a move that scares you or you won't do or you would at least rather not do? And that can be giving or receiving.
Favorite move to do and that I
Yeah.
like watching, probably would be Chaos Theory with Chad Gable. That's
Hmm.
my favorite move. I haven't done that one yet, but that's my favorite move to watch, and then the favorite move to do is the German suplex. So not the O'Connor roll with it, just the regular German suplex. But that's my favorite. Those are my favorite moves to watch and to do.
Hmm.
My least favorite ones I should say, probably Chokeslam. Even though it's an up and down, but I personally want to take that because some people go too hard and only give you enough space or time to base for you. But Chokeslam is my least favorite one to take, and then least favorite to look at. Probably a super kick because some people do it and they do it good, but then some people do it and it just looks shitty. So
Gotcha, gotcha. It's funny. I'm just gonna bring this up just because it's just something that really sort of messes with my head a bit. I mean, I've been a wrestling fan since I was around 11, and I'm 56 now, so I've been following wrestling for 40 plus years. So I kind of grew up in the territory days and such.
yeah,
And I remember as a teenager watching. I am a big fan of Jake the Snake Roberts. And I've hated over the years watching the DDT get relegated to a mid-match setup move rather than a finisher. Because
yeah,
when Jake did the DDT, you would think he murdered a man. I
yeah.
mean, and I just seeing the DDT just turn into basically just like I said, a mid-match setup move rather than a finisher just kind of hurts my heart.
Yeah.
So
No, big ups to but like I agree with you, and big ups to Eddie Kingston because I've recently seen him just start doing that, and it's like because he's done the back fist and the
right,
DDT, so big
yeah.
ups to him for trying to at least reestablish those moves that's actually finishes. Because if you take a backhand in real life, that shit gonna hurt.
Oh yeah, no
Um,
doubt, no
like
doubt.
a spinning back fist in real life, that's gonna knock somebody.
Yeah,
Same thing with a DDT. If you DDT somebody on the concrete, like for real, they out of here.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but also big ups to Jonathan Gresham because he does a lot of moves that don't look like they would end the match, but if that happens in real life, you out. It's
Oh
done.
yeah,
whatever. So yeah,
Yeah.
so big ups to them too. I mean, also in Jonathan Gresham, I forgot to mention him too. He's also a dream match.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, he's actually he and Jordan Grace are actually based here in Atlanta.
Oh,
Yeah. I'm not sure what part of town they're in, but I know that they are based somewhere here in Metro Atlanta. But
you
yeah,
should
man,
definitely show.
so so you haven't been doing this for that long, and you're still a comparatively pretty young guy, so this may not really apply that much. But I'll ask, what hurts right now?
What hurts right now? I don't know. After my matches, I won't say days after, but like the next day or something. Back. At least right now, my back. Like I can't remember. Yeah, I took a red. What do you call it? What is the same as Ian's
Oh, the Blue Thunder Bomb.
Blue Thunder Bomb. I took one from Andino at the most recent fight show that I was at. And that was like about almost like a week ago. I mean, as far as I know, or not as far as I know, as far as I can feel right now, that's probably the only thing that hurts. I mean, he didn't hurt me, but like the move itself, like pain from the move. But right now, that's probably it. Uh, oh, I'm completely forgetting. In January, I injured myself. My knee. My knee is pretty not banged up, but like I'm a little. I favor that knee a lot more now than before. But other than that, my back and like my knee. Other than that, I'm like relatively fine.
Gotcha. So this is kind of a hot take question. What are your thoughts on the Randy Orton heel turn? Are you liking it? Are you not liking it? And where do you think it's going?
So I am old enough to remember the Randy Orton '09 days. I am old enough.
Oh yeah.
When he kissed Stephanie after handcuffing Triple H to the ring post. I'm old enough to remember that.
Yeah.
So I'm young, but I'm old at the same time. I remember that. Like a lot of people
Yeah.
don't. I remember that. Do I think it's getting there? Yeah. Do the only like I said, I heard this from I was listening to the Chris Van Vliet podcast earlier this morning when I was at work, and he said it, and I agree with him. I feel like it would be fully Orton '09 today if he actually did the punt. If he punted somebody, it don't got to be Cody. If he punted somebody, oh yeah, it's all the way back now. But do I think he's gonna win the title at Mania? Most likely, because I feel like they just dropped it, put it on Cody just so it can, that story with Randy, and then after that, give Randy number 15. So,
Yeah.
I like it. I like it. Initially, I was pretty neutral on it, but like as I'm seeing all the reactions, I'm like, I like it. I like what's going here. So, because it's like I said, it sets up Cody, Randy, and Mania, and there's a lot more story and there's a lot more meat on the bone for that rather than Drew and Randy. Even though I saw Drew and Randy in pandemic era, and it was cool, but I don't know. I don't think there's a lot of meat on the bone with that one. I think there's more meat on the bone with Cody because they were in Legacy together. His first match, Cody's first match, actually was against Randy. So
Yep.
Yep. So there's a lot more story there, and also they both have wrestling coming from wrestling families because you got Dustin, you got Dusty. Randy has his dad and his
Grandfather.
dad,
Yeah.
grandfather. Yeah. So there's more. There's a wrestling family story going on there, and there's a history between them two. I like that story more than like anyway. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm the same way. I'm digging it. I mean, personally, I feel like Cody's babyface shtick at this point is really pretty played out. I'm actually hoping that somehow during all of this we see a Cody heel turn.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be mad at it.
Because
yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say. I mean, in my opinion, I loved Cody's heel work on the Indies, with Bullet Club and such. I mean, to me, heel Cody is best Cody, but that's just me. So
yeah, his whole indie run, I think he was heel for most of it. His whole indie run. So, I liked it too, and I also liked his match in Defy with Kyle O'Reilly. Again, another Kyle O'Reilly thing, but that was a good match too. But his heel stuff, I like his heel stuff because I feel like he can be a babyface, but I also feel like his heel work is better because his personality can lends more to it. But yeah, I like it. I like what's going on. He's polarizing, so it's not like he's getting the negative and the good. So it's like he's getting a reaction regardless of whether it's bad or good. So he's coming out to an ocean. But yeah, I like it. I like what's going
Absolutely.
on.
Yeah. Yep. So, what is your take on the role that social media is playing as a promotional tool in wrestling, specifically indie wrestling?
I feel like it can help, but also hurt because I'm talking about how it can hurt because now every wrestler is, or a lot of indie wrestlers, I say not every, but a lot of indie wrestlers are now they're looking for like a viral moment, so they're trying to do stuff in matches that will get them the most clicks, which I'm not gonna be mad at because buzz is buzz, but it also leads to a lot of wrestlers doing a lot of dangerous things trying to get that viral moment. But on the flip side of that, you can do something in the match that you do all the time, and that can blow up too. So that's the reason why I like it. And then also you can just sit there and without having to work like ask permission to do this or do that, you can just post something of yourself, whether it be wrestling related or non wrestling related, and that can blow up too. So it's that's kind of the double edged sword that I think wrestling has, that you can use it to boost yourself up, but also it hurts you because, or it can hurt you because there's a lot of wrestlers trying to get a viral moment. There's a lot of wrestlers that are oversaturating the market with trying to do the same thing that everybody else is doing. So it
Gotcha.
doesn't really you can be original, but also it leads to a lot of people lacking originality when it comes to trying to get over and stuff like that. So
Gotcha. So, knowing everything you know at this point in your life, if you could give any advice to your younger self, what would it be?
start wrestling sooner because uh had I started wrestling sooner, I'm not saying that I would have had more opportunities, but I probably would have like understood and realized, oh, this is not as out of this world as it seems. And yes, you can get to those places, but it's like you said earlier, wrestling is a very small world. So I probably would have met a lot of people that I look up to. I probably would have met them sooner, most likely. That's probably what I would say to myself: just start wrestling sooner. You can go. You can do this. Just go for it. So that's probably what I would say to younger self: is just start sooner.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's been crazy watching the rise of Javon Evans and knowing that he's only I think he may have turned 22 at this point, but he's been wrestling since he was 13. So
Yeah,
he's as young as he is, but he's got 9 years experience in the business. And but man, that kid, the sky is the limit. I mean, he is just on a tear right now,
yeah.
and
I mean,
it's just fun watching it.
it's very it's real fun watching him because I feel like that's the reason I said like to start wrestling sooner because I could have been like him. I could have made it to WWE in like 2 years or however long it took him. But um, yeah, watching him, man, ooh, I like watching him a lot, especially when he just hyped up. But on top of that, I just kind of wish I had made this my career a little sooner. It is what it is. But
Right.
um, Javon Evans, he's awesome to watch. Who else? I can't think of who else. Lucky Ali or his Saquon Sugars in Dark
Yeah.
State. So
Yeah.
he's good. He's cool to look at. Or I should say cool, but he's good to watch. Him. Oh, and Jackson Drake.
Oh
He's
yeah.
um. I like a lot of his stuff too. So I try to keep up with him.
Yeah. Yeah. Very early on in the show, I think it was like episode number 8. I was actually fortunate enough to have Sean Legacy on the show, and now he's made his way into NXT and is doing really well. And it does my heart good to see people's careers taking off like that.
I think I saw like a little screenshot of you and him on your on your page when I looked at it the first time. I was like, oh, he has Sean Legacy on here. That's cool.
Yeah, Sean is a good dude, man, and great work ethic. Just a good guy. So I just, man, I'm just as happy as I can be to see his career taking off the way it is.
And then he just really just got signed to NXT, so that's nice
Yeah.
too.
Yep.
But yeah,
Yep.
yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that's good. For me, I think goals in wrestling. My ultimate goal in wrestling, honestly, is to wrestling Europe and in wrestling Japan and I say Europe first because I want to wrestle in the 16 karat gold tournament in WXW. That is the tournament that I really, really, really want to be in, like so bad. That one, and then I also, like I said, I just want to wrestle in Japan in the best of the Super Junior. That's a good tournament. That's the tournament I want to be in there. Is there best of the Super Juniors and the G1.
Yeah.
Hopefully Wrestle Kingdom. Hopefully if I can get that, I'll take it. But because when people hear that my wrestling goal isn't WWE, they're like, oh, why is it not? I'm not saying I can't get there, but geez, I was watching wrestling in Japan and I was watching Progress in Europe, and I was like, and WXW, and I was like, that they love wrestling down there in Japan and Europe. They love it down.
They do.
So if I can get down there, I would definitely take it, because I think a promotion in Europe, actually in the UK, they actually did not reached out, but they actually like they've seen me. So I'm like, if I can get down there, I would take, I think, UKPW. They actually liked one of my posts. I was like, oh, I'm
nice.
In the UK. I'm like, oh, okay. But yeah, my wrestling goals is definitely Japan and Europe. But if I get signed by TNA or AEW or whatever promotion it is, I'm not gonna be mad. I mean, if WWE comes knocking, I'm not gonna say no.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, wrestling, like you said, wrestling's a small world, but also it's a big world.
Oh, it is. It is. It's simultaneously enormous and tiny.
Yeah, at the same time. So
yeah,
because I remember watching the Cruiserweight Classic and seeing Drew Gulak, I'm like, oh, it'd be nice to like wrestle him. It'd be nice to at least learn something from him. And then little did I know, because I think I was 16 at the time. Little did I know, 9 years later, I would actually be training under him at one of his schools. Because and that still blows my mind now. Like, geez.
Absolutely. So, do you have any pre-show traditions? Any things that you try to do consistently before you walk through the curtain?
I just do the normal like pacing back and forth, because like I don't know what it is, but before matches, like right before I go out, like the curtain, my heart's like beating like a mile a minute. And it's not like there's something wrong with me. There's nothing wrong, but it's like the nerves, it's the pre-match nerves, and it's like once I get out there, I'm cool, I'm good. Because actually, funny enough, at the most recent fight show I was at, I almost didn't get cleared because I was so nervous. But yeah, that I usually do normal pacing back and forth, pretty much nerves happen. But I try to get at least a snack in. So if it's not a full meal, I try to get like a snack. So I don't usually go for candy. I go for an energy drink and like a protein snack, jerky or like a protein beef stick. I usually do that, and because I don't like to wrestle on a full stomach. I just don't personally like doing that. So I try to get like that little protein snack in and a little energy drink just to have a little bit some energy for the match or the show or whatever. That's usually what I do.
Gotcha. So something that we've done in all of these that's just been kind of fun is we've let the current guest pose a question for the next guest. So my previous guest was a wrestler based in San Antonio, Texas by the name of Darren Hale. And the question that he posed is, would you wrestle a bear?
Would I wrestle a bear? Probably not. Probably because like the obvious one is I don't want to die. One, and then two, it's not really something I kind of want to do. I mean, props to the big ups and props and kudos to the people who who actually want to do that, but I don't personally do that. So I probably would not wrestle a bear. No, that's probably not something I would want to do. So Devin Hill, your question, I'm not wrestling.
I don't blame you. I mean, I don't blame you at all.
I would not wrestle a bear at all.
So, knowing that this is part of a series, do you have a question you would like to ask the next guest?
Yeah, next guest. Let me think of a question.
Okay.
My question probably would be to the next guest, whoever that may be. Past or present, what finisher would you be most willing to take, and what finisher would you least be willing to take? Past or present. It could be from this era. It could be from eras in the past. It doesn't matter.
That's actually a really good question. How would you answer that?
So for me, the move that I probably would take past or present, probably be a past move, probably like Yokozuna and his bonsai drop. I probably would want to take that. I don't know, weirdly enough, I kind of would want to. Bonsai drop from Yokozuna, I probably would take that. Move that I probably would not take though, will probably be coffin drop from Darby Allin, because I'm not too thrilled about someone jumping back first, and even though it looks like it doesn't suck, but if I feel like he probably would.
Yeah. So, during his farewell tour, John Cena kept talking about the concept of leaving wrestling better than he found it. And I actually thought that was a really cool concept. So I've started including that in my question repertoire for these. So, you're still young in the business and you've got many years ahead of you. But, going along that concept, what are you doing to try to make the business better so that ultimately someday when your time in wrestling comes to an end, you can leave wrestling better than you found it? How are you trying to improve the business?
So this is something that I learned from Andino. He's a wrestler down in Fight and everything. So he's pretty big around our area. I learned this from him about putting people on, because in wrestling in the past, there's been a lot of people. There's been this mentality of, I'm gonna have my spot and just fuck everybody else. I'm just get my spot, and if you get yours, cool. If you don't, then you don't. But I'm very big on just putting people on.
Oops, looks like we lost him. Aha, I think maybe he's back. Yes, hang on. Looks like we lost you. You're back?
Yeah, we back.
Okay.
So, like I was saying, just putting people on and, helping people get a spot at whatever promotion that I'm at or that, they want to be at. So, because most recently was one of my training partners, he goes by, his brand name is JMD, but his brand name is Jackson. I mean, I probably shouldn't be talking for the story. So, because we got invited into a fight by our trainer, E.L. O'Neill. And instead of, he couldn't make the show, but instead of saying, oh, you couldn't make shows, whatever, I was just like, hey, shoot Andino a message that you want to be at the next show and let him know you're going to be there, and he'll tell you what you need to do and whatever. And I told him, I said, and there's also people that are prominent in the business that you can learn from. Because for me, I learned a lot. So it was, because at this most recent fight show he couldn't make this one, but it's the most recent one that we had was Shook D. He was there, and he's somebody that he's wrestled for Ashe. He's wrestled in AEW. I'm not sure if he wrestled in WWE as an extra or not, but he has a lot of experience. So learning from him was cool. I was like, if you can make the next fight show, make the next fight show. And I said, here's Andino stuff. Let him know, hit him, and he'll tell you what you need to do. So my big thing for me is just putting people on, helping people network with other people, putting people in front of the right people for whatever it may be, in terms of wrestling. And then also in training, I try to be a big help there, because I said this to myself, and I've said this to other people, that ultimately I want to be a trainer. So I don't think I want to open my own wrestling school, but I just want to be a trainer to train people who want to do this, because I very much enjoy telling people and teaching people how to wrestle, in a sense, because I'm not a trainer at my school, but I've definitely helped people out when it comes to like learning certain mechanics, learning certain roles, whatever it is. So the two things that I do now that to like leave wrestling better than when I was in it is I help people network better. I try to, people that I learned from, I try to connect them with. I try to connect other people with them so they can learn and so they can, get opportunities and whatever. And also, I just like to teach people at our trainings and whatever. I like to, help people out with this or whatever so they can get far along in their wrestling journey. Even if that is to my expense, I mean, I rather have more people in wrestling than not. So if it's anything I can do to help them, I definitely would be able to more than willing to do that. So that's my two things that I kind of do to try to leave this better than when I found it.
Absolutely. So we're pretty much at the end of things now. So do you have any upcoming shows or anything at all that you'd like to give some hype to?
I actually do. So, tomorrow, EWA is in Rockville, and I'm probably gonna be there for that. That's tomorrow, March 21st. If anybody want to go, it's in Rockville, Maryland. March 20th.
And looks like we lost him again. Aha, he is back. Just a second here.
Hurry up
You back? Yay.
again. But tomorrow, March 21st, is EWA hits Rockville. That's another show. Where y'all can catch me at and other people that y'all want to be fans of. Then next week is EWA Sweet 16, and that's in Bel Air. That's another show I'm going to be at next month. Power Pro Lucha, April 3rd, I believe. Also in that month, April 11th is Summit Wrestling Association. That's April 11th, and April 26th is April Reigns. That's another show that I'm going to be at as also under Fight Club Pro Wrestling. So in Cheverly, Maryland. So anybody want to know? Cheverly, Maryland for April Reigns, April 26th. Shady Brook, PA for Summit Wrestling Association. That's April 11th. And not Pittsburgh. Sorry, I almost said Pittsburgh. Philadelphia for Power Pro Lucha, April 3rd. That's in April. That's the 3 dates I have in April. In March, or this month, I should say. Tomorrow, Rockville, Maryland. EWA hits Rockville. And then the week after that is EWA Sweet 16 in Bel Air. So that's my schedule for the next month and a half. And then in June, there's 2 shows in June. EWA American Bash, and then the June fight show. I don't know what the name of that show is, but it's in June 21st. So that's my wrestling schedule all the way up until then. Other than that, I ain't got nothing else. Also, I'm gonna take a much needed vacation in May though, so I don't have anything in May. But March, April, and in June, that's my schedule for the next couple months. Other than that, I had a good time. I enjoyed this. I wouldn't be mad with you if you did it again, but I'll let you do the outro, or if you're gonna do it now, or ask them the question. So go ahead.
Absolutely, yeah. I would definitely love to have you back on, and maybe next time we can actually see the man to see.
Yeah, I gotta fix my camera, but anyway, we can do that though.
Absolutely. And as far as what we've got coming up on the Throwdown, at this point, I am actually booked through the month of April and starting to get some bookings into May at this point. But the next couple of things I've got going, I have Monday. Well, this next week, I actually had a couple of episodes booked, but both people actually ended up postponing on me. So this next week, I actually don't have any episodes currently. But Monday the 30th, a week from this Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern, I've got episode 211, and our guest is a Texas-based wrestler, a guy out of San Antonio, the star from the Stars, Chase Nebular. And then, the following Monday, April 6th, at 7 p.m. Eastern, episode 212. And our guest is another San Antonio-based wrestler, Primal Kyrie Adams. Both of those guys actually wrestle out of Community Wrestling in San Antonio, which is it's an up-and-coming school and promotion. and they are really doing some special stuff out there. And Texas wrestling is kind of near and dear to my heart. I'm actually a native Texan. I was actually born in Texas, lived there about my first 6 years, then moved to Florida, lived there for 7 years, and I've been in Atlanta ever since. I've been in Atlanta since 1983. So
Okay.
Atlanta's pretty much home, but I've got a soft spot in my heart for Texas.
I got you.
So anyway, thank you so much for your time. This has been an absolute pleasure, and definitely, any of your wrestling buddies up there that you think would enjoy doing one of these, definitely send me a list of names, or just have them reach out to me, and I'll be more than happy to make it happen because I love doing these.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, this is my second podcast interview because I did one for the 3 Count podcast with Red Dog, and that was pretty fun. And I mean, this is you and him. They both want me back on the show for another interview. I'm like, I ain't mad at it. So this, I mean, this I like talking. This was fun. I definitely enjoyed it. I mean, this is longer than the first one, but it got me out there to a lot more people. This one is going to do the same thing. I don't know. It's been fun. I really did enjoy it. I appreciate you for having me on the show. Cause I sent that message. I didn't think you were going to respond to me at all. So when you did, I was like, oh, okay. This is another interview I'm going to be doing again. So this was
Absolutely,
fun.
man.
Definitely, if you're ever in Maryland and you want to catch an EWA show or a fight show, definitely hit me up and I will let you know what's going on.
For sure.
I'll send you that list. I'll send you a couple people. I mean, I don't know, man. This was fun. Like I said, I keep saying that, but like it was fun. I was looking forward to this all day. So this was fun. This was nice. It was cool. And this also makes me feel like I'm getting noticed a lot more because, or not by people in the street, but like on social media, like a lot more people are noticing me and stuff and shouting me out and all that stuff. So that's pretty nice. Hey man, this was fun. It was cool. I really did enjoy it. Like I think you have my socials down here on this little bar right here. So anybody who sees this, y'all can go and follow me on Instagram. The Instagram is AJB TMTS Pro. X, or I still call it Twitter, but
Yeah.
that's the man to see AJB or the MTS AJB. So that one too. My TikTok is the same name as my Instagram, I think. So, or no, it's AJB team, the man to see. So it's actually the words, the letters in my Instagram. It's just the words of that. But follow me on there. I know you did. You follow me on TikTok too. So
Yeah.
follow me there on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram. I have a Facebook, which is linked. It's in my link tree. So if you go to my link tree, my Instagram, it's there. But as that, come to an EWA show, come to a fight show. I'll be at both of those. So that's all I got. I mean, hey, I'm here. I'm gonna be here for a long time. So if anybody got anything for me, booking wise, anything like that, like I said, like he got my socials are right there, so you can hit me up anytime. Yep. Thank you again for actually letting me be on the show. So that was cool.
For sure, man.
That's it. That's all. I mean, I'm happy. I'm pleased with what happened here.
I am too. And for those of you that have been watching this live, thank you. For those of you that'll be seeing this on replays, thank you for that. If you like what we've got going here, definitely do the old like, comment, share, and subscribe. And until a week from Monday, the 30th, with Chase Nebular, be good to each other, love each other, and let's keep throwing down.
And next time you actually see my face. So.
Goodbye. Mwah! And good night, bang.
Thanks for listening to episode 210 of The Throwdown. AJ and I had an amazing time together, and I especially enjoyed talking with him about our shared admiration for Kyle O'Reilly. who I firmly believe is one of the most underrated people in the business. As for what's coming, next Monday, March 30th at 7 p.m. Eastern, we will be live with episode 211 with Texas-based wrestler, the star from the stars, Chase Nebular. Be sure to make plans to join us live on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter/X, Facebook, and Twitch and interact. If you can't make it live, the videos will be available on those platforms and the podcast will be available within a few days afterward. As always, if you like what we have going here, spread the word, follow me on my socials, leave comments, and maybe even drop us a review. Any or all of that will help us to continue to grow. Have a great rest of the week and keep throwing down.